Alright, there's just one last thing I wanted to mention about the new 1.9 version. The import panel has been renamed to Files down here, and a couple of the buttons have been moved from the Setup menu into here. The Relocate Lost Files and the Rescan ID3 Tags button have been moved here from the Setup menu. Because it was a big pain in the butt trying to minimize ScratchLIVE or put it into window mode, and then you had to go into Explorer or Finder and then drag and drop folders onto these buttons. So now you can just do it right here from the new Files area. And it's still basically the same as the import panel in the old versions. Uh, so you can just click on Relocate Lost Files and it will search your entire hard drive for missing tracks, or you can find a folder right here and drag and drop it down there, and that will search in that folder and all its subfolders. But with the Rescan ID3 Tags button, in the old version, when you click this button, it used to rescan every track in your library like it's doing down here. Now that's okay if you got just a small library, but if you have a large library, this took an ungodly amount of time. So now you can just drag individual tracks onto the Rescan ID3 Tags button and it will only do that track. Or you can do multiple tracks also if you hold Control or your Apple key on the Mac and just drag those onto the button and it will only do the highlighted files. Or you can use Shift click and that will highlight an entire range, and again just drag and drop them and it will only do those files highlighted. So it doesn't have to rescan your entire library now, which took a lot of time. And it was a big pain in the butt, especially if you're trying to do this at a gig or something. Also, for whatever reason, they've renamed the Build Overviews button. I have no idea why, but it is now called Analyze Files. It still does the same thing though, so just click that and that will analyze your files now, I guess, instead. That's what they're going to call it now instead of Building Overview. So I don't know, people thought that was confusing or whatever, but it's the same thing. And lastly, this is a new feature in 1.83 actually, is when you exit ScratchLIVE, if you haven't backed up your library, you'll now be prompted to back up your library on exit. Because in the old versions, it backed up automatically on load when you started the program. And again, if you had a large library, this took a lot of time. And this is not the thing you want to be doing at a gig, especially when time is critical. So now, when you exit ScratchLIVE, if your library is more than a week old and it hasn't been backed up, you'll see this message. And then now it is also optional, so you don't have to do it if you don't want to. But if you want, check check that box and then click yes, and it'll back up your library and exit ScratchLIVE. So that's just the last look at Serato ScratchLIVE 1.9.